Whoa, Jeff, we usually don't bring firearms on our adventures. Are we heading someplace more dangerous than usual?
Damn right we are, Ray.
So we're in Millinocket, Maine, right in the central part of the state. The town doesn't look that dangerous. Seems like a nice small town. What are we looking for?
So, Ray, we're looking for a haunted house.
Okay.
On Central Street.
Which is also Route 157, right where we are now.
The heart of downtown.
Got it. All right. I feel like most of the haunted places we've explored aren't really dangerous. What makes this one different?
I'm not sure yet, and that's why we're here to investigate. But I can tell you this. Some ghost hunters in the past have been brought up on charges of trespassing and firing their guns at the ghosts. Hey, I'm Jeff Belanger. Welcome to episode 406 of the New England Legends podcast.
And I'm Ray Auger. Thank you for joining us on our mission to chronicle every legend in New England one story at a time. From ghosts to monsters to UFOs, roadside oddities, and all the other wicked, strange things that make New England like no other place. We explore it all. And most of our story leads come from you. So please reach out to us anytime through our website with your ideas.
We'll go hunting for the ghosts on Central Street of Millinocket, Maine, right after this word from our sponsor.
Okay, as we said, Millinocket looks a lot like many small towns in New England. The population is just over 4,000 people, and there isn't much else going on in this region. This region was home to the Penobscot people for more than 10,000 years. The name Millinocket is Algonquin for Land of Many Islands. It was settled in 1829 by the Fowler family. They cleared the land for their farm near Shad Pond. In 1899, the Great Northern Paper Company mill was built, creating a lot of jobs for the community. Sadly, the mills closed in 2008, which was a heavy blow to the town. Today, they're more of a service economy. People come here all 4 seasons looking to get away to the wilds of Maine. We're only about 30 miles away from Mount Katahdin.
Got it. So a mill town that lost its mill, but still working to redefine itself and find the next great opportunity.
That's the story. And there's many other small towns in the same boat.
And like many other small towns, Millinocket has its haunts too, like this one.
Now, we're standing in front of a large multi-family house. It's 3 stories with a peaked roof. Though it's a little larger than some of the other neighboring houses, it really doesn't stick out here on Central Street. You wouldn't look twice unless somebody pointed it out.
No, it's hiding in plain sight. But this was the place where some ghost hunters, keyword here, hunters, allegedly shot up the place looking for a ghost. So let's head back to the year 1907 and check out this haunt.
It's early May of 1907 here in Millinocket, Maine. Teddy Roosevelt is in the White House. Mellon Chamberlain is the governor of Maine. And School Days by Byron G. Harlan is the #1 song. Here in Millinocket, the economy is booming.
It is. They're calling Millinocket Magic City because of the effect the Great Northern Paper Company is having on the region. In 1893, the Bangor and Aroostook Railroad connected the town to the rest of Maine. 5 years later, over 1,500 Italian immigrants were brought in to build the massive Millinocket Mill. And since then, there are plenty of jobs for everyone. Trees are being cleared, and the mill is churning out paper for New England and the world.
Things are going so well that the company is about to open the East Millinocket Mill about 7 miles down the road from town.
Though everything is hustling and bustling in town, there is some ghoulish gossip going around lately. Folks are talking about the C.H. Tapley house on Central Street being haunted.
Locals suspect they know the identity of the ghost, too.
No, do tell.
About 8 months ago in October, a local named Charles Pillsbury was hunting deer in the woods of East Millinocket.
That's near where they've been building the new paper mill.
Right, that's the place. So Pillsbury is hunting. He saw movement through the trees up ahead, so he raised his rifle and shot at what he thought was a deer. A man screamed in pain. Charles ran up to see what happened and saw he had blown a hole through the thigh of a lumberman named William Leahy. Leahy was bleeding profusely. By the time help arrived, Leahy had bled out and died. His body was brought back to his wife at his home in Millinocket and then buried. Pillsbury turned himself in to the coroner, but no charges were filed. It was ruled an unfortunate accident.
That's terrible.
William Leahy was a tenant here at the Tapley House on Central Street.
Oh, got it. So this is where his body was brought.
Correct. And some suspect that he may still be lingering here. Leahy's wife couldn't take living in the apartment without her husband, so she moved out a few months ago. And that's when the story of ghosts began.
Also living in the house are the York family, who occupy the attic level, and the Allen family, who live in the basement level. The Leahys had lived on the second floor. Now, a few months ago, strange noises could be heard on the second floor, but it wasn't like shrieks or groans late at night. Just peculiar sounds coming from a floor that was supposed to be vacant.
Sounds almost like somebody's moving furniture and then dropping it.
Yeah, it's odd, especially considering it should be empty.
Now, one night, Mrs. Allen was visited by a highly respected woman in town who wanted to see, or rather hear, what the fuss was all about. This woman also heard the unexplained noises. Pretty soon, everyone in town is buzzing about the haunt.
Enter Mr. R.A. Brown. He's the city editor of the Millinocket Journal. He pays a visit to the house on Central Street. He's exploring the former Leahy apartment looking for any signs of shenanigans or some logical explanation for the noise.
Now, it's worth noting this house was built in 1900. It's only 7 years old. It's not some rickety old building creaking and groaning. It's relatively new.
Strange. So Mr. Brown wants to be thorough in his ghost investigation, so he waits for nightfall. Brown returns with 3 other Millinocket men, Daniel Hennessy, Thomas Griffin, and F.E. Banks. Banks is a member of the Board of Selectmen. They explore the Leahy apartment. They sit a vigil. They listen. They look around. And eventually, they head home. Now, the following day, Brown prints an article in the newspaper saying they went to the Central Street house looking for ghosts, but found nothing. They suspect the ghost was simply in the imagination of Mrs. Allen. The men figured that settled that. This should be the end of the talk of ghosts.
What the 4 men didn't count on was the owner of the multifamily house, Mr. C.H. Tapley, reading the article and getting quite upset. He figures if the building does have ghosts or haunts, it was his business alone. Tapley heads to the police department. After hearing the complaint, the police officer pays a visit to the 4 men in question and issues each of them a $50 fine for trespassing.
Yikes. I guess Tapley doesn't have a sense of humor about this stuff.
No, he doesn't. Tapley then speaks with Deputy Sheriff Gates and tells the officer he intends to press charges to the fullest extent of the law. The sheriff arrests the 4 men. Bond to appear in court is set at $200 each.
Meanwhile, C.H. Tapley is all too happy to talk to reporters about the case.
Yes, sir, I had them arrested. I'm not gonna have folks rampaging over my house without my consent, lugging in mud and doing lots of damage.
Are you taking this action because there was actual damage or because you want to stop the talk about ghosts?
What? Because they damaged the place. Don't you think when they fire revolver bullets through the window and into the ceiling of the house, they're damaging it, huh? They've damaged the place, and I'm gonna get paid for it. I picked up in that house after the mob had been there. A whole lot of cigar and cigarette stubs and a pile of mud. It was a fright. You go over there and you ask to see the dining room in the Leahy apartment. You'll see the bullet holes in the wall.
Let's head back to the house and check.
We're walking through the former Leahy apartment. On the way in, some of the other tenants told us that sometimes they hear noises in here, like someone running around or furniture moving. One tenant even said she heard a door slam in the hallway in the middle of the night.
So I'm looking at the walls and the ceiling in the dining room. I can see a couple of holes, but they're pretty small. It almost looks like they were drilled. I seriously doubt a gun did that.
Still, that's the owner's story, and he's sticking to it. And that brings us back to today.
The 4 men who were arrested for trespassing wanted to go before a jury to defend themselves. Eventually, they were forced to pay a fine because they were indeed trespassing.
Now, do you think they really fired a gun at the ghosts?
I tend to doubt it. Look at where the house sits so close to the center of town, just feet from the road. Someone firing a gun at night would have brought in the police and made a lot of fuss. But no doubt the story of the haunting made a buzz around town. A local reporter took enough interest to check it out, and he was arrested for it. That all happened.
And the article tied the name of the shooting victim, William Leahy, to the haunting of his apartment.
Right. And Leahy didn't die in the apartment, but his body was brought here as they prepared him for burial.
Every ghost needs a reason.
That they do. We should point out that everything we know about this story came from the May 4th, 1907 Lewiston Sun-Journal newspaper article. So clearly the story had grown beyond Millinocket.
I love the headline of this article. It reads, Ghost hunters in deep trouble. Story of tragedy of haunted house revived in Millinocket, Maine. 4 spook layers arrested for shooting up ghostly presents.
How could we resist a headline like that?
Right?
So obviously a gun will do you no good against a ghost, and who knows if any of the men in question actually did fire a gun inside. But we do know some strange noises and a ghostly legend led to quite an odd story in the quiet town of Millinocket.
Very, very odd. And that brings us to After the Legend, where we take a deeper dive into this week's story and sometimes veer off course.
After the Legend is brought to you by our Patreon patrons. We can't do what we do without them. They help us financially with our hosting, travel, production, marketing costs, everything it takes to bring you 2 episodes each week. It's just $3 per month, and for that you get early ad-free access to new episodes, plus bonus episodes and content that no one else gets to hear. To sign up, just head over to patreon.com/New England Legends. We would appreciate it. And to see some pictures related to this week's story, you can click on the link in our episode description or go to our website and click on episode 406.
I do like the vagueness of this story. Sometimes a vague ghost story is much more interesting than actual, events that were either debunked or proven.
Sure. No, I get it. And, I also get, by the way, we should say, if you're going ghost hunting, you have to ask permission.
Sure. Don't just walk into a house.
Yeah, if it's private property. And I get that they didn't exactly break in. I mean, the other tenants let them in. But at the same time, you got to talk to the owner. That's just rule 1. And, of course, the owner was upset. We saw it in the paper. Like, these people bragged about going in looking for ghosts. And then I think at that point, maybe Tapley was like, well, I'm going to get paid.
Right.
Right.
Great idea.
Yeah.
But I want a cut of this.
Yeah. Now that you've broken the law, let me punish you to the fullest extent. We all know the type, right? We all know a Tapley.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, for sure. Also, we do know the exact address. The house is still there. We're not revealing it because it is still a multifamily and there's no need to make any trouble for anybody. But I can think of 2 times I was threatened with gun violence while paranormal investigating.
Yeah.
So the first time we were in a town called Volcano, California.
Oh, my gosh.
A town a little bit bigger than this room.
Really?
Not by much.
Yeah. Was there a volcano nearby or the threat of lava destroying this small town?
Maybe. But at one point, it was going to be the capital of California because they had all the, like, Civil War time, they had all the gold was stored here for a little bit. Population at the time was something like, no joke, 90 people, like under 100.
Yeah.
So we were all checking out this haunted inn/hotel, which was really cute. And then at midnight, some of the group went into the cemetery, which was truly just a tiny little postage stamp of land. And, the group's doing EVP or whatever. And this shadow figure walks out from the trees, sort of stumbling, holding a pistol.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a drunk local who says, "You want to become a ghost tonight?"
Oh.
And we were like, oh, well, that doesn't happen often. So
drunk local in any case is probably negative and not good.
Drunk armed local?
Yeah, even worse.
What could go wrong, right? So anyway, so we left, and that was the end of that. No one got shot. Another time, I was working on an episode of Ghost Adventures, and we were scouting for possible locations. So I called the owner. I found the owner. And I said, hey, I wanted to reach out and ask about permission to possibly film Ghost Adventures there. And the guy said, absolutely not. Don't you dare go there. And if you do go there, I'm telling you right now, I'm armed and I will shoot you.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, I'm asking permission.
Sure.
I'm not, it's the middle of the day. I'm asking before we won't go. Like,
just a nice, friendly, no, thank you.
Yeah. Like you could have just said no, but instead you're literally threatening my life.
Yeah. You were probably the 10th call he got that morning.
But I was just like, how many people call and ask?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Like these guys didn't, obviously. Well,
and that was the end of it. We didn't go. We didn't go there. Right. So, but yeah, no, we do ask permission because, like, yeah, I don't worry about the ghosts so much. It's the living people that'll get you.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, no, but that headline though was great. One other thing I want to point out, that headline was from 1907 and used the term ghost hunters.
Oh, okay. Is that rare for that time period?
So there are a group of people who assumed the term ghost hunter didn't exist until the TV show on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, yeah,
like 2004. I knew it predated that because, what's his name? Harry Price in England wrote a book called Confessions of a Ghost Hunter. And that was like 1920 something. So I knew the term was around since at least the 1920s.
Right.
This is the earliest I've seen it. I have no doubt someone could find an earlier one, but in 1907, a newspaper headline used the term ghost hunter.
They also used 4 spook layers. What's a spook layer?
Spook layer, I guess, like another term for ghost hunter,
I
right?
guess,
like,
right? Yeah, I just can't put the 2 words together and make it make sense.
Like spook layer, like someone who's going to lay down the spooks, like shoot them down, right? Like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay, I could see that.
like if you had
especially since there was gunplay involved.
Right.
We're going to shoot them, lay them down. Lay down the spooks.
The Lewiston Sun-Journal knew how to write a headline. That's all I have to say, right? I mean, there's an expression.
It's still relevant today, that headline.
I dare you to go past that headline. You couldn't, right? I mean, the old expression, if it bleeds, it leads.
That's right. They knew how to bleed.
The ghost may not bleed, but that sucker led, and I loved it. I loved that I love the headline. But it's one of those very strange stories where I imagine the homeowners started making up the whole thing about all the mess they left and the cigarette butts and the gunshot stuff. They owe me money.
Well, you've heard that before. Maybe renting somebody's property. You think you cleaned really well at the end of the week, and then they say, "Oh, you left the place a mess." Well, we know we didn't.
You owe the security deposit,
right? They just want to keep the deposit, so they make up a story.
Right? They don't want to give it back. Yeah. There's always been landlords like that, and I guess Tapley was just one of them.
Thank you for riding along with us each and every week. We appreciate you being with us. Please make sure you subscribe to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts because it's free and we don't want you to miss a thing. Please also take a minute to post a review for us. Those reviews help others find us in a crowded sea of podcasts. Also, be sure to visit our website to see dates for Jeff's fall story tour and dates to see my band, the Pub Kings.
We'd like to thank Marv Anderson for lending his voice acting talents this week. Thank you to our sponsors, our Patreon patrons, and our theme music is by John Judd.
Until next time, remember,
the bazaar is closer than you think.